YouTube, what the crap's going on? Welcome to the Grove of Slaughter, where Reginald Puggington was kind enough to send me an FFA replay. I only got to play one FFA battle before I left on my business trip. I will be playing a lot more when I get back because I want to figure it out, and he's brought a Skaven army here that I really want to see in FFA. I know this is a big battle, but let's go into slow motion just so we can assess all the armies. In terms of the Skaven army, it looks like there's some Storm Vermin on either flank, so those are going to be the Sword and Shield version. Plague Monks in the center, along with some Plague Monk Censer Bearers. And then we've got these Deathglow Bombardiers, and a Warlock Engineer, one Warp Cannon, one Deathclaw Catapult, it looks like. Or Plague Claw, sorry. And then we've got a Doom Wheel. I love the Doom Wheel. Nice touch. Storm Vermin with Halberds out on that flank as well. And then there's some Poison Wind Globadiers here too. Second Rat Ogre, Plague Priest, and Lord Skrolk. So let's go over here and take a look at this Lizardmen army. There's some Pterodon Riders coming up, and there's already a Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower getting some shots in over here. These Lizardmen have a front line of Saurus Warriors with shields. There's a unit of Croxagores, and these must be the huge unit settings, so this one's going to really tax out my system. Warhammer II is a little trickier to run than Warhammer 1, so it really puts the heat on. So we've got one Bastillodon with Revivification Crystal, which can heal other units around it if it uses the ability right. There's two Temple Guards in the back, so those are anti-large, anti-armor infantry. And then we've got a couple of Cold One Spear Riders, Krokgar on Grimlock, and then a Skink Priest Lore of Heavens on a Stegodon. So should be interesting to see them. The High Elves over here up front have 3 archer units with light armor. A couple of Phoenix Guard behind them. There's a High Mage and a Star Dragon. And then here is the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, 3 Sword Masters of Hoeth, and a Lore Master of Hoeth. Nice thematic stuff going on there. Now there's 3 Lothern Sea Guards over here and Spearmen. This must be a huge funds battle too. A couple of Cold One Knights with full chevrons moving through the woods here, but they're coming up on Dragon Princes. Ooh, 2 Dragon Princes with Tyrion. Cold One Knights are not typically better, but they're all ranked up. These Dragon Princes have really good melee defense, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We got the Dark Elves over here with the Black Guard on either side, Dread Spears in the front. See a Bleak Sword, a Reaper Bolt Thrower, a Black Dragon, War Hydra. Over here we've got Morathi up on a Dark Pegasus, a couple of Dark Shards, and a couple more Bleak Swords is going to be the Dark Elves. And in the back they've got some Cold One Chariots. Let's see how all this plays out. I'm going to hit play. These Dragon Princes going up against these upgraded Cold Ones. This is going to be a battle of the elite troops, and it depends on whether or not these High Elves got their charge, because the Dragon Princes really need their charge against these Cold One Riders, because Cold One Riders have anti-armor and anti-large, but the Dragon Princes have a much more powerful charge, and then they also have much stronger melee defense as long as their hit points stay high. So Dragon Princes will win against other elite cavalry if they get a good solid charge. Krokgar is going to just go pounding straight through a whole bunch of Phoenix Guard here and straight into the archers with light armor. And then he has a Scar Veteran with him as well, also on a Carnosaur. So the High Elves here are going to have their work cut out for them, stopping the 2 Lizardmen heroes. But the Lizardmen heroes are coming in a little bit unsupported, and there's a Star Dragon there. Let's see how Reginald Puggington's going to come up against these Dark Elves. These Dark Shards are going to be able to do a lot of damage. The Warp Lightning Cannon's already firing at the Hydra, and it's done a little bit of damage. Good choice of target. There's a Hell Pit Abomination here with the Skaven that I missed earlier too, and that Hell Pit Abomination, that is a really strong creature. It's good versus other monsters and lords. It's anti-large in nature. So out here in the center, the Lizardmen army has kind of moved into the center, and the Skaven is moving out towards the center, but letting their siege equipment get some kills from long distance. Plague Monks, another unit, should do okay here. Wow, that was a disgusting explosion of what looked like barf through here. Ooh, that Hydra, though, unleashing it all over. But there's a Hell Pit Abomination in here, and that Hell Pit Abomination should be able to do good. Skaven just immediately punched through the Dark Elves here in the center, and that War Hydra is going to get completely overwhelmed. I don't think the Black Guard are going to be able to hold their ground. Those are the Globadiers, I think. Yeah, Poison Wind Globadiers. Then the Plague Priest here, too. Let's see what's going on over here, see if the Lizards are doing. They're coming up against the 3 Sword Masters, and that's going to be a tough pill to swallow for the Lizardmen. Though back here, they've got some Cold One Riders into the flanks of the High Elves. The Lore Master, or the High Mage, is just sitting back for now. Ranon's Thunderbolt coming in there. Looks like it got one of the Sword Masters. The Dark Elf player is like trying to guard a flank here, or a flank from the High Elves who are not over here. Ooh, a Pit of Shades. That's gonna eat up a bunch of these Plague Monks here. But it's just a Plague Monk unit. The Skaven player was lucky there wasn't more there. The Hell Pit Abomination's actually getting pooped on right now by the Blackguard. I didn't think that would be the case, but I guess it kind of makes sense. That Blackguard of Naggarond is dedicated anti-armor, anti-large. Doomwheel is going to break through, and we should get some pretty hilarious up-close views here. The Doomwheel is really good at going after blobs of infantry like this. Look at that, Warp Lightning firing, plows right through. You can keep it moving, turn around, and come in for another charge. So I really like the Doomwheel. The Warlock Engineers have it over there too. And here we got a Black Dragon and a Star Dragon facing off in epic combat. And then over here it looks like the Cold Ones did end up kind of winning because the Dragon Princes I don't think got their charge. And so Tyrion is left over here. He might be able to tank that one out. Tyrion's pretty strong. The Star Dragon appears to be besting the Black Dragon, which I would kind of expect. Hell Pit Abomination, not a ton of kills, and it's already taken a lot of damage. Look at that Warp Lightning. I think it came in right on top of the Warlock Engineer. The Skavens still have some of their Poison Wind Globadiers and other units back here, Plague Monks, guarding their Warp Lightning Cannon, which has done some damage. Remember, the name of this game is all about damage. So the Warp Lightning Cannon shooting big units that have a ton of hit points can definitely add up towards your score. And right now, the High Elf player is in the lead because of the damage he's inflicted on Harry Hobbit. And Reginald Puggington is about 1,000 points behind. He's going to have to play catch-up if he wants to win. But the High Elf player has done some really good damage here. Probably these Sword Masters of Hoeth. If you look here, the Saraskar veteran's about to die. Let's see what's going on over here between Skaven and Dark Elves. Dark Elves are scattered all over the place, and it looks like... Oh, look at that! Somehow the Black Dragon turned the tables here. It does have a lot of chevrons, but still. Would have expected the Star Dragon to win that one. Maybe there was a stray Warp Lightning hit that got it or something. Because it's targeting Marathi. Marathi just took a hit there. Wow. I did not expect to see the Black Dragon come out of that. And these Cold One Chariots are sitting back here doing some skirmishing. Maybe that was what helped tilt this fight too. Tyrion looks like he could probably go ahead and carry this if he doesn't get too torn up by the Chariots. The Skaven have a little bit of ammo left on their Plague Claw. And it's missing right there, and then they have a decent amount of ammo left on the Warp Lightning Cannon, so they can still inflict quite a bit of damage if they have the right targets. And over here we got some Plague Monk Censer Bearers gonna be coming into combat, right next to a Skink Priest. Let's see how these Plague Monks do in here. Look at this, a 3-way fight. You haven't seen this since Medieval 2, folks. So Phoenix Guard up against Temple Guards, up against Plague Monk Censer Bearers with Bastillodons and Rat Ogres all around. So this is why FFA is awesome. At least one of the reasons why, I think. Let's watch this. Boom! Ranon's Thunderbolt coming down. So quite the fight going on here. So we got Skaven, Lizards, and Elves all tearing away at each other. Those Temple Guard, though, are a tough unit. Surely they're gonna... No, they're routing. Yeah, the Temple Guard routed. They're getting hit hard by this Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower back here. Reginald Puggington is now about 2,000 points behind, with Genku here in pretty good shape. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen though. The Warp Lightning Cannon's running lower on ammo. Targeting Marathi may be a mistake because Marathi's not gonna be an easy hit. Let's see over here, Lord Skrulk and the Plague Priest Some rat ogres taking on Tyrion, who must have come out of the woods finally, only to be run down by a bunch of filthy, plague-infested rats. So Tyrion's going to get pushed off the battlefield. The Hell Pit Abomination and Storm Vermin chasing away the Black Dragon. I don't know how the Hell Pit Abomination has survived all this. Look at that! All of a sudden, Reginald Puggington right back in the game. Yeah, that Warp Lightning Cannon's having a hard time hitting Morathi. So the High Elves are going to come out of this alive. These Globadiers getting some good hits here into the back of these Chameleon Skinks. The Storm Vermin should easily mop up those Skinks. Oh yeah, there's going to be some decent hits there from the Globadiers. And Reginald Puggington is now only about 400 or 500 points behind, so he's catching up. The Doom Wheel is over here getting him some nice damage done. Tyrion somehow did survive. Morathi's sitting here dodging Warp Lightning all day long. That little missile there from the Warlock Engineer. Alright, so Tyrion's caught here. Lord Skrulk's coming up behind him. He can get some damage done against this Doom Wheel, though. And there's the Lore Master. Look at him coming out twisting around with that sword. So we got Skrulk and a Doom Wheel, and then here comes the Plague Priest, and then here comes some summoned clan rats as well coming out of their hole. So the Skaven are going to push back here, and that Lore Master is in a bit of trouble. Still a pretty close game. There's a lot of Skaven left at this point. Not a whole lot of High Elves left. There is still Kroq-Gar here, who's got 2,700 points to give up. A Skink Priest with 1,300 points to give up. So there's still definitely enough points on the battlefield to swing this battle away and switch things up between Puggington and Genku here. That High Mage got booted out. Tyrion is getting his face chewed off by Kroq-Gar, but then Kroq-Gar decides to pull away. Look at these Skaven here chasing that Stegodon. The Hell Pit Abomination is going to be a tough cookie here late in the game, too. If it can actually get a hold of some of these. Look at that awful thing. Just awful. Looks like the Skaven took like all these leftover part and just like sewed it together. I'm sure that's what they did. Filled it full of warp light or warp stone and sent it on its way. Looks like all of Genku's units have routed, so he's not going to be able to get any more points, which puts Reginald Puggington in a position. If he gets, yeah, I mean, there's enough stuff on the battlefield for him to take the lead here, so he's in a pretty good place because the High Elf player just got shattered. So the only thing that's left is a couple of, some Dark Elves and then the Skaven. And I don't think the Dark Elves, I mean, there's enough Skaven to flip the lead, but I just don't know if the Dark Elves have enough damaging stuff to get the job done. Let's see if this Hell Pit Abomination can handle these chariots. God, that thing just looks horrible. Look, they got a wheel like sewed up its crack. That's just awful, man. Now you know where it gets its name. Yeah, I don't think these chariots want to be anywhere near this thing. At least that's my thought. Ugh. Look at it just skulking around. Alright, so the Dark Elves are trying to chase off this Bastiladon and get some extra like points off of it, but it's going off the battlefield, so it's not going to be worth anything. These Storm Vermin, ooh, that's not where they want to be. They're going to be giving up some free hit points to these Cold One chariots. Yeah, the Cold One chariots are going to rip that infantry unit apart. So the Dark Elves should pick up some nice points here. They actually routed the Storm Vermin without causing a ton of damage. They need to chase it if they want to get the points. Yeah, the Skaven have kind of regrouped into a group here. They brought the Hell Pit Abomination back. What the heck's going on right here? This Plague Priest is in really good health right now. Lord Skrulk is in pretty good shape. Warlock Engineer is in pretty good shape. So I think the Dark Elves are in trouble here, and if Puggington can just get enough damage done. Oh yeah, look right there. Poison Wind Globadier is getting a shot in. And he's used the Howling Warp Gale to hold the hold the black dragon still. Here comes the chariots. If he can just bog down the chariots, then yep, there goes the damage climbing, and Puggington's going to easily take the lead now. And he should have this one all wrapped up, because the Dark Elves are going to shatter. So this is going to be a Skaven FFA victory by Reginald Puggington. Well done, Puggington. Look at this. This is why FFA is cool. Look, dead elves all over the place, dead lizards. Look at this pile of corpses here. It's like a mix of elves, lizards, rats. Yeah, it's freaking cool. Awesome maps. The maps for FFA are looking really good, and very appropriate battlefields, you know, with that kind of circular shape, forcing everybody into combat. The scored resolution. I'm not saying that this game mode is perfect. We may find things that we want to change, but for now, it's looking really cool. Just look at that post-battlefield. So dang awesome. So let's kind of take a look at everything. Puggington had 43% of his force remaining and came home with 29,668 points. I think there is a survivor's bonus that you get for being the last one alive or something. So here's the kills on some of his units. Plague Monks, some of them doing very well. This was a huge funds version too, you can tell just by all the stuff that people brought. I imagine this thing was a lagger whenever they played it. Hairy Hobbit. Let's just take a look here at the High Elves. Kind of see which units. Not a ton of kills, but they did get a lot of damage in, so they must have gotten a lot of high value stuff. Look at all the chevrons here on that one. Then the Hairy Hobbit. Alright, hope you all enjoyed this one. Appreciate Reginald singing that one in. Appreciate MSI sponsoring the channel and you all being here to view my videos every day. I love making it for you. It's always my privilege. And I can't wait to be back. Whenever I do get back, I'm going to try and set up some times where viewers can join me for free-for-all battles so that we can have some fun stuff. And I'll be able to show those on the channel. So keep an eye out when I get back. I'll be trying to make some announcements. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon.